Hello and welcome to today's lesson, which is on substitution. So let's have a think about first, what does substitution mean? Now I always think about this picture when I'm thinking about substitution, and you might think to yourself, well, what has this got to do with maths? Now when I'm looking at this picture, you ask yourself, what's happening here? This is substitution in football, but it's a very similar thought. And what's happening here is you're replacing one player with another. And in maths, when we're doing substitution, what we're doing is we're replacing a letter with a number. So we're replacing things. That's what substitution means in a very similar way to substitution here. So I've got a few questions here. So first of all, what does 3b mean? Well, when we did algebraic expressions earlier on, 3b means 3 times by b. So when I'm looking at this and when I'm doing this, this here means, in case you don't know, maybe get these down in your notes. If you understand this, then don't worry about it. But make sure you're having to go at all of these questions. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it. So, what does 3b mean? Well, 3b means 3 lots of b, 3 times b. So this one here, what does b over 3 mean? Well, this here means b divided by 3. I've got quite a trickier one there. So this is 2b plus 9 divided by 3. Now that one there means 2 times b plus the 9 and then divided by 3. Now we do it in that order because of the order of operation, or because of BIDMAS, or whatever you want to call it. But we do this in terms of, we do the multiplication first, then we add the 9. Be careful with this, because a lot of people say, well, from BIDMAS we've got to do the divide first, and so why am I not dividing by 3 here? And it's because it's all over 3. It's all of that on the top divided by 3. So we've got to do all of this first and then divide by 3. So 2 times by b plus 9, then divided by 3. So this question here says, if b is equal to 6, what are the if b is equal to 6, what are the values of each of these? So I mean, we've already kind of thought about all of this, because this is the hard part here. But I'm going to do these properly. I want to try and stay away from these here. I want to try and make sure that we are doing them properly. Now, I'm going to introduce you to something here that you might not have seen before, which I think is really handy, especially when I'm doing something on my calculator, because you can just type these straight into your calculator and it works. And it's called mini brackets. So the mini brackets like that. So instead of using this times symbol now, we're going to be using mini brackets, because that means times. It means that times by that. So let's have a go at example 1. So we've got our expression here, which is equal to 3b, and I'm told that b is equal to 6. So if b is equal to 6, remember substitution means to replace. I'm replacing b with the 6, but I'm going to be using those mini brackets. And this is equal to 3 lots of 6. 3 times by 6 is equal to 18. 3, 12, 18. Now the reason I use this technique is because when we get to the harder ones, and when we need to use a calculator, you can put that straight into a calculator. Notice if I go 3 bracket 6 like that, that there means 3 times by 6, which is 18. Okay? And it is a handy technique, and it's handy to know. So the next one, example 2. So we know that b divided by 3, so it's going to be b divided by 3 now. I'm going to circle that because we know that b is always going to be equal to 6. So this one here is equal to 6 divided by 3, which is equal to 6 divided by 3, which is 2. That's that next question done. Notice I haven't used the divide symbol here. And I've done that purposefully because I want to use algebraic techniques. Okay, so next one, example 3. We've got here, example 3. And this is 2 times b plus 9, all divided by 3. So remember, I'm going to use the mini bracket technique here, which is 2 times by 6 plus the 9, all divided by 3. Now with this one here, we've we need to make sure that we are doing the things in the right order, okay? So the first thing I've got to do is this 2 times by 6. So I'm going to do that over here. 2 times by 6 is equal to 12. So this is equal to 12 plus 9 divided by 3. And then I'm going to go over here now. So then I'm going to do 12 plus 9. So 12 plus 9 is equal to 21 divided by 3. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. So that's that question done. Notice that we did this by thinking about 2 times by 6. But if I was to type that straight into my calculator, I'd have to press the fraction button first. 2 times 6 plus the 9 all divided by 3 is equal to the 7, which is what we got. Make sure you're getting used to using these mini brackets, okay? They do come in handy. So, that was those 3 questions here. I've got a few more questions for us to have a little go at. So I've got 4 questions here. That was example 3. Let's have a go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top 2. Then I'm going to let you have a go at the second 2. And then I'm going to show you how to do them in case you weren't sure. So the first one, so this is example 4 now. Remember to make sure you're getting these down in your notes. So f is equal to 5. And we've got our expression which is 8f, 8 lots of f, minus 7. So this means, remember I'm going to be using the mini brackets. 8 times by 5 minus 7. So 8 times by 5 is 40, minus 7 is equal to 33. Notice I did these underneath each other like this. This tends to be the way that we do things, okay? So we substituted 5 in there using the mini brackets. We could have typed that straight in my calculator, but I've used non-calculator techniques. Example 4 done. Nice and easy. Example 5 gets a little bit trickier. Only a little bit. This is now telling us that n is equal to 6, m is equal to 9. So we've got 2 different variables here. And it's telling us 6n plus 4m minus 11. Which means 6 times by n, which we know is 6, plus 4 times by m, which we know is 9, minus 11. So it's going to be 6 mini bracket 6 plus 4 mini bracket 9 minus 11. So 6 times by 6 is 36, plus 4 times by 9 is equal to 36 as well, actually. 36 as well, minus 11. Now I can't do this in my head, so I'm going to do it on the side over here. 36 plus 36, 6 plus 6 is 12, carry the 1. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus the 1 is 7, 72. 72 minus 11, 2 take away 1 is 1, 7 take away 1 is 6. So the answer to this is 61. Brilliant. So have a quick go at those 2 questions here now. Pause now, have a go at those. I will go through them in a second. I don't think you need these in your notes, but do have a go at them. Okay, let's have a look at these together. I'm just going to do these really quickly. So h is equal to 4. We've got 11h plus 6, which means it's 11 times by 4 plus 6. 11 times by 4 is 44, plus the 6 is 50. 44 plus 6 is 50. Super. So that was that first one. Next one. W is equal to 9. N is equal to 3. I've got 12W plus 7N minus 11. 12 lots of 9. Just notice I'm using the mini brackets there. Plus 7 lots of 3 minus 11. Well, 12 times by 9. 12 times 9 is 108. Could have done this over here. I should have known this 108 to be fair. 7 times 3 is equal to 21 minus the 11. 108 plus 21 minus 11 is equal to 118. Brilliant. So there's some examples. I'm going to make this a little bit harder, and I'm going to think about this question here. So what is the value of 3x squared when x is equal to 2? Now the reason that we've got this one is because lots of people make the same mistake here. Okay, loads of people make the same mistakes. I'm going to use mini brackets. If you use mini brackets and put this straight into your calculator, you don't need to worry about this. It will just work for you. It'll do the order correctly for you. If this is non-calculator, you do need to think of this order. So, what example is this now? We are on example 6. So, example 6. So we've got x equals 2 and 3x squared. Remember, I'm going to use mini brackets. Now it's only this number which is in that mini bracket, not the squared as well. So it's going to be 3 mini bracket 2, 3 times by 2, which is the x, all squared. Now, I'm going to do this wrong. I'm going to do it wrong on purpose because everybody makes the same mistake. Everybody, I'm going to do it wrong over here so you can see that it's wrong. 3 times by 2 is 6. 6 squared is equal to 36. Why is that wrong? What have I done there that's wrong? Well, the reason is because the order of operation is wrong. There's an order. Remember when you looked at bid mass or the order of operation or whatever you've called it, you've got to do things in the right order. And actually, the first thing I need to do here is this squared. Okay? People always do that. They just do it going across. So I see the 3, see the 2, do that. Brilliant. But actually, I've got to do the squared first. So it's going to be 2 squared first, which means it's going to be 4. So 3 times by 4. Notice I've still got that mini bracket. And 3 times by 4 is equal to 12. So notice, if I click on 36, that is wrong. But actually 12 is the right answer. And the reason is because you need to use bid mass. So, I've got a couple more questions here. Some of these are tricky. I think actually with some of these you might be expected to do them on your calculator, but I'm going to try not to do them on calculator. I'm going to try and do them that. If you type them straight into your calculator using the mini brackets, you don't need to worry about any order of operation. The mini brackets do it all for you. So, example 7. So here I've got x is equal to 10. Q is equal to 5. I've got 11x cubed plus 3q squared. Now, the thing I need to think about this is the fact that I've got to do this cubed and squared before anything else. Let's substitute in using the mini bracket. So 11 times by 10 cubed plus 3 times by 5 squared. Now, remember, I've got to do the indices, the powers first. So 10 cubed is 10 times, cube means times by itself 3 times. 10 times 10 times 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. Times by 10 is 1,000. So we've got 11 times by 1,000 plus 3 times by 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, which is 25. Be careful. Another common mistake here is to think that that means 3 times by 10, which is 30. That is wrong. It's 3 times by 10 times by itself 3 times. So then I need to multiply this out. So 11 times by this is going to be 11,000, quite a big number. Plus 3 times by 25, which is 75. And then this one here is going to be 11,000 plus 75, which is 11,075. If you want to have a go at this question yourself, this last one, pause now, have a little go yourself. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it. So, here I've got, this is example 8. Now I'm going to do this with my calculator, example 8, just to show you how easy it is with a calculator. Now, you might think to yourself, why why don't I just use the calculator all the time? I've got my calculator at home, why can't I use my own calculator all the time? Now, the reason for that is because you're going to do a non-calculator paper. So you've got to practice those techniques, otherwise you're going to struggle on the day. So, c is equal to 12. I've got 3c squared minus 9c plus 6. I said I'm going to use the mini bracket technique, so it's going to be 3 times by 12 squared minus 9 times by 12 plus 6. So I'm just replacing, substituting, like we talked about in the start, I'm replacing that 12, the c with 12 in those mini brackets. Now I'm going to show you now. So 3 bracket 12, close the bracket, then squared, minus 9, close the bracket times 12, plus the 6. Now look, I've just typed that straight in with those mini brackets. So let's press equals, and that's your answer there. Mini brackets make it easier. So the answer to that one is 330, done. Right, okay. So let's have a little go at some of these yourself. I'm going to pop these on now. Remember to pause and have a go at these questions. Oh, I forgot about this one. So we've got one more question, which is formula. Now, to be honest, I think we should fly through this. I'm going to use my calculators. Now, formulas is a rule to generate one value of interest from another. So, for example, in this case here, we're working out the Fahrenheit if we know the temperature in Celsius. So here we've got F is equal to 9 over 5c plus 32. Now this isn't any different. Just because it's wordy, just because you've got this 9 over 5, it doesn't mean it's any different. Okay, so don't panic about that. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this non-calculator, then calculator. So let's do the first one here. So the first one says that c is equal to 10. We've got f here, we've got 9 over 5, remember we're replacing this mini bracket, times by the 10 plus 32. Now this means here, the problem is we've got this fraction which is a little bit nasty, but we're not going to let that scare us. It means 9 times 10 divided by 5. Or you can do it the other way around if you want. You can do 10 divided by 5 times by 9. I'm going to do it that way. So f is equal to 9 times by 10, which is 90, divided by 5 plus 32. So 90 divided by 5, that's quite a tricky one. So 50 is 10, 40 is 8, so that's going to be equal to 8 plus 32. And then I'm going to simplify that. 8 plus 32 is 40. So that's how you would do that using the non-calculator methods. Hey, where's my mistake there? 18, sorry. Did the 10 and the 8, which is 18. Sorry about that. So we've got 50 there. So let's have a go at how I do this using a calculator. Remember, I'm going to be using the mini brackets method. So when I'm using a calculator, you literally just type it in. So if c is equal to 0, we're going to have f is equal to 9 over 5 times by 0 plus 32. I mean, we could probably do that in our head. Anything times by 0 is 0, plus the 32 is 32. That one's easy. Last one then. When c is equal to 30, f is equal to 9 over 5 times by 30 plus 32. So I'm going to use the mini bracket technique here. So 9 fraction 5, right button, open brackets 30, close brackets, plus 32, which is equal to 86 in this case. You'll notice how I keep all my mistakes in the video, because everybody makes mistakes. Okay, so don't be embarrassed to make those mistakes. As long as we're fixing them, that's fine. So, what I'm going to be looking at now is I'll put some questions up for you to have a go at. Make sure you pause. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it, so make sure that you are having a go at these questions. I'll make them big for you. There you go. So pause now and have a go at those. Okay, I'm going to put the answers up. So mark those in green. So thank you for watching this video, which is of substitution. Remember to make sure you're having a look at these questions. It's the only way to learn maths is to do it, and have a lovely day.